Good morning. Good morning. I really want to thank you for taking the time to come to the 2013 NAPPSA Scientific Conference and Exhibition. I want to thank all our colleagues from all over the world. I want to thank the honorable ministers. We want to thank the President of Nigeria, His Excellency, for allowing all the many honorable ministers to attend this conference. Today's conference and in the next few days is an epic conference for NAPPSA. What can we do to transfer that knowledge to Nigeria and be able to build quality pharmaceutical products?
It is my honor and distinct pleasure to now bring to the podium for the presidential address the Honorable Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Professor Viola Adaku Awolili. The Honorable Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Professor Viola Adaku Awolili, and it's my distinct pleasure to introduce her to give the presidential address. So let me then present to you Professor Viola Adaku Awolili to give the presidential address.
Notable Nigerians and friends, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening.
Let me commend you and thank you for your patience and for staying through to this time in this very wonderful event. The Nigerian healthcare scenario requires that we all make deep and sustained investment in the development of our healthcare systems, and that we also build a thriving and continuously expanding pharmaceutical sector that provides the drugs necessary for healthcare delivery. For now, Nigeria, like other African countries, face a number of public health challenges, including inequitable access to health services and medicines, growing healthcare costs, as well as the burden of infectious diseases such as malaria, HIV, tuberculosis, etc. Nigeria is also transitioning from a high burden of acute communicable diseases to non-communicable diseases such as heart disease, cancer, chronic respiratory disease, and diabetes. Amidst these challenges faced by Nigeria and indeed our dear nation, and many other nations of the world, especially the developing nations, the developed world has made progress. Though uneven across the globe, significant progress has been made in the field of medicine, and advances in pharmaceutical treatments have also transformed care for many diseases. Nigerian healthcare managers have, despite all these odds, made progress with the support, of course, and encouragement of government. However, the challenge and the opportunity for Nigeria today is to realize its great potential to participate fully in the evolving global innovation of the future and its economy, and to bring the full benefits of innovative medicines to Nigerian patients while developing the domestic capacity to address our peculiar public health issues. For a large number of neglected tropical diseases, new medicines need to be developed. For others, newer medicines are needed to address the shortcomings of existing treatments, such as safety, efficacy, and the issue of drug resistance that have continued to level our system. All of these must be channeled in a manner to simultaneously keep us on track to deliver on our commitment to the MDGs through our transformation agenda and Vision 2020, especially in reducing child mortality rates, improving maternal health, and combating HIV/AIDS, TB, malaria, and other diseases. Well, I'm happy the SSAP MDG was here. I'm sure she would have taken you through all the achievements we've made in that area. If properly harnessed, mobilized, and managed, it will be stating the obvious to say that Nigeria has the human and economic resources to take on this challenge and realize this opportunity.
So, on behalf of NAPPSA, I really want to thank the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs, Professor Onwolili, for gracing our occasion and for a wonderful talk for us this evening. In fact, we can give her another round of applause. And also to give a message back to His Excellency President, and to let him know that we appreciate it very much, his understanding of what NAPPSA is trying to do and the emissaries that he sent to us in form of the cabinet ministers and the special assistant for the first time. And to let him know that we are fully engaged and ready to play a role in his transformation agenda. And we also have a plaque for him to send to him, so we'd like to present that plaque to you now.
The Honorable Minister, this is a presentation of plaque to His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces Federal Republic of Nigeria, 2013 Annual Scientific Conference and Exposition, in recognition of his commitment and efforts to transform the Nigerian healthcare. On behalf of NAPPSA, we thank you. We thank His Excellency for being here, and we are all excited for the wonderful information you've given to us. It's my pleasure to introduce our ambassador, Ambassador Ashman.
So I'm not falling off. So bear with me. The Honorable Minister of Industry and Trade and Investment of Nigeria, the DG of NAFDAC, and all the important guests from Nigeria here present, and also the diaspora. Mine is just a simple task to welcome you to the United States. You are most welcome. So on behalf of my boss, my senior partner, Ambassador Adefoye, and the entire Nigerians here present, I welcome you all to this beautiful city of Philadelphia. This conference did not come at a better time than now, because the present thrust of the federal government of Nigeria now is investment, attraction of investment, which the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment has been doing a lot. I salute you, sir. I also commend the organizers of this conference for a job well done. Since my arrival here, I've seen that everything has been put in place to make sure that this conference is going to be a good success, which I've seen it's going to be. So I commend you for keying into the transformation agenda of Mr. President, which is attraction of investment into Nigeria. We cannot do it alone without the diasporans and our friends, the investors in the US. We have the professionals. I know you all can do it. It's just a matter of time and putting our acts together. There is no area of specialization in the medical field that you don't have or see any Nigerian. There is none. We have high flyer Nigerians here, making waves. So I encourage them to go home, pour their resources together. Don't say there is no light. Create light. Don't say there is no water. Create it. Don't say, no, government has not done this, government has not done that. Yes, it is time for you to give back to the society that you give. Because without Nigeria, you cannot be Nigeria.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The name is simply Shegun Aganga. So that's what I have. Now, the second point I want to make is that in some of the statements that have been made so far, I hear the word give back, I heard the word sacrifice from someone earlier. I don't talk give back, I don't talk sacrifice. It's opportunity I talk about. That's what I see, and that's what is important to the country. There's no free lunch anywhere. I am delighted to say that most of the investments in globally, Africa had the largest chunk in 2012 because it's a land of opportunity, it's a new frontier. The 21st century belongs to Africa and to Nigeria. You know a bit about your country already, so I don't need to bother you. This is for foreign investors. But let me remind you of some of the things we have and why I'm so optimistic about the country. Now, like natural resources, you know already that Nigeria is a top 10 producer of crude oil. You know it's a top 11 producer of gas. You know already that Nigeria has 44 solid minerals in commercial quantity. And you know that in agriculture, Nigeria has about 84 million hectares of land, and only 40% of that is cultivated today. Despite that, Nigeria is #1 producer of 8 commodities in the world, including cassava. It's #3 in 2 commodities in the world, and it has 6 commodities where it is #3. And yet we have not started. We only cultivate 40% of our land today. It's a country where everything and anything can grow. Cotton grows in at least 23 states of the Federation. We can feed the whole of Africa when it comes to rice. We are a country blessed with so much natural resources, and it is left to you, managers and leaders, to convert those resources into what we need as a country to develop our economy. Well, when you talk about population, any investor looking to invest anywhere in the world needs 4 things. It needs capital, money. It needs the know-how, technology know-how. It needs to have the raw materials. It needs to have the market. And of course, it needs to have high returns on investment. Market, raw materials, you cannot move anywhere in the world. Capital, you can move. Know-how, you can move. Technology, you can move. And Nigeria has abundant raw materials and large population. That is why it is a destination for investment today. When you look at the population, we're 167 people growing at 3% per annum. In terms of, by 2050, we'll be the 6th largest, by 2070, Nigeria will be the 3rd largest nation in the world after China and India. We have a very young population, average age of 18.6 years. Compared it to anywhere in Europe or Japan or China, there's aging economies. We need to turn our productive advantage into our quantity advantage to productive advantage, and we will transform the whole continent. Today, we produce 28.2 million metric tons of cement. By next year, we'll be producing 39 million metric tons of cement. What does that mean? Today, we are now a net exporter of cement. Today, we have if not the one of, if not the largest cement producing plant in the world in Nigeria. We are capable of doing anything we want to do because we are a blessed nation. That is the reality.
I would like to take the privilege of this moment to invite Honorable Professor Chinedu Nebo to the table, the Federal Minister of Power.
So this is a plaque that reads, Outstanding Leadership Award, presented to Mr. Olusegun Aganga, the Honorable Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Federal Republic of Nigeria, 2013 NAPPSA Annual Scientific Conference and Exposition. In recognition of his efforts to create an enabling environment for investment in Nigeria. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Nebo, Honorable Minister for Power for Federal Republic of Nigeria. Professor Nebo is very well accomplished and distinguished. He's a maker of people. He's been Vice Chancellor for several universities, including the Lions and the Lionesses, UNN.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please, I plead to be allowed to identify with already existing protocol. It is indeed my honor and pleasure to be here with you today and to be asked to give this keynote address, captioned Key Infrastructural Needs for the Transformation of the Nigerian Pharmaceutical Sector. I must confess that when I was first asked to do this, I was a little worried about what I was going to say to what is obviously a very distinguished and well-accomplished audience like yours. As you are all aware, Nigerians in diaspora are very well read, mostly, and amongst the most accomplished groups of diaspora communities in the world. This is true of this group, NAPPSA, made up of a body of professional scientists and healthcare specialists and professionals. The question was how to ensure that I do justice to the topic at hand. Well, let me assure you that I consider the topic seriously enough to undertake some research of my own, and as you know, once an academic, always an academic. I must acknowledge some of your colleagues in Nigeria, particularly Mrs. Stella Okoli of NAPPSA Pharmaceuticals and Mazi Sam Ohuabunwa of Niemen International Pharmaceuticals, both of whom contributed quite a bit of industry insight and data to this presentation that I'm making. An October 2010 publication by the Wall Street Journal, one of the most prestigious business newspapers in the West, ran a publication titled Nigerian Pharmacists Feel a Need. The article by the journal states that the Nigerian pharmacists in the U.S. are a force to reckon with many qualified pharmacists finding work at major chains like Walmart, etc., and even opening their own small and independent neighborhood pharmacies. This influx of immigrant pharmacists into the system obviously helped to address the growing shortage of pharmacists in the United States. The number of black pharmacists in the U.S. reportedly tripled from 8,500 in the year 2000 to more than 24,000 in the year 2009. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says that the number continues to increase yearly, and many of you in the audience today are the reason for that increase. If the Wall Street Journal article is to be believed, and I have no reason not to believe it, Nigerians contribute a huge chunk to the number of black pharmacists in the USA and continue to do so. Presently, you have more than 6,000 of your members here in the US. This influx has helped to solve not only a social and medical problem in the US, but also added positively to the overall growth of the US economy. Let's take a little review of the Nigerian pharmaceutical sector. Nigeria's dominant position in Africa as the most populous,
largest and fastest growing economy in Africa, coupled with this incidence of diseases, makes the country a vibrant pharmaceutical market and emphasizes the country's high demand for adequate and efficient health care at all levels. Currently, Nigeria is responsible for about 60% of medicines consumed in the ECOWAS region. The next is power and energy infrastructure. For many years now, worrisome challenges loomed, the largest in the power sector. Nigeria's electric power supply was epileptic due to recurrent outages, the absence of necessary infrastructure owing to so many years of non-investment and neglect. This translated to only 40% of the nation's population having access to electricity supply, high operating costs, and with the current average growth rate of electricity pegged at 1% per annum. It's a shame to even talk about these statistics. Inoperative generation capacity and lack of investment meant that the country was only able to meet about half, actually much less than half, of the power demand. Right now, suppressed electricity demand in Nigeria almost quadruples what we can deliver. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. This in turn resulted in an extremely unreliable power supply. Meanwhile, the sector was hemorrhaging resources. Power users are being charged only a fraction of the true cost of production, and the country's power utilities' operational efficiency, until recently, was among the worst in Nigeria. Today, Nigeria still has the lowest electricity tariff in all of Africa. These challenges were a direct result of government's monopoly in the power sector, which was riddled with a lack of investment in generation, transmission, and distribution networks of the infrastructure. The direct result of this was a lack of economic growth, a lack of infrastructural development, lack of private enterprise participation, and therefore very low industrialization. The good news is that the ongoing privatization and restructuring of the sector is currently paving the way for service performance improvements all around. I can say, without meaning to brag, that power remains the most critical infrastructure in ensuring economic development in all spheres of the nation's socio-economic development. Today in Nigeria, we have a situation where the per capita power consumed or electricity consumed by Nigerians is only 2.5% that of South Africa. In other words, Nigeria, with a population of 170 million people, produce and consume just about 4,000 megawatts of power, whereas South Africa, with 43 million people, consumes 40,000 megawatts. So in order to even come to the per capita consumption of power like South Africa, Nigeria needs to have 40 times more generation, transmission, and distribution capacity. When you look at this, it's so daunting. But in the midst of this, you see an incredible opportunity to invest and to make money. Because once the power sector is healed, the rest of the industry or the rest of Nigeria's economy will also be revamped. To maximize infrastructure returns in the pharmaceutical sector, the government must and will continue to accelerate the current power sector reform. The economic impact of Nigeria's power deficit is substantial and cuts across every sector in Nigeria. According to the World Bank Enterprise Survey, Nigeria is affected by power outages at a much higher rate than can be found in other African countries. As a result, the percentage of Nigerian pharmaceutical companies owning their own backstop generators is close to 100%, again substantially higher than elsewhere in Africa. This translates to higher operational costs, mainly for maintaining and fueling generators. A substantial part of each company's budget is reserved for maintenance and running of generators. This also indirectly impacts on the lifespan of the equipment and machines due to rapid breakdowns associated with power surges. With the level of reform ongoing in the power sector, this will hopefully soon be a thing of the past. The good news now is that the roadmap to power sector reform is almost at a concluding stage.
I'd like to start first with Professor Precious Benyol, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on the Millennium Development Goals for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Professor Benyol. And Professor Benyol will also be giving us a presentation in just one moment. Then the next distinguished guest that should join us at the podium is Professor Julius Okogie, Executive Secretary, National Universities Commission, Abuja, Nigeria. And the next distinguished guest is Honorable Abike Dabiri Iriwa, Chairman, House of Representatives, Committee on Diaspora for the Federal House of Representatives, Abuja, Nigeria. Other members of the panel that will join us at the table are the following: Dr. Joe Benson, Executive Director, Merck Vaccines; Dr. Sam Urin, Vice President, Global Medical Safety Alpha Laboratories; Dr. Trudy Nduaka, DVM, Medical Director, U.S. Medical Affairs, Pfizer Pharmaceuticals; Dr. Linus Igwenezie, Executive Vice President, Alea Dr. Adaz Hussein, Insight, Advice and Solutions; and Senator Michael Brubaker, Chair, Finance Committee and Vice Chair, Senate Committee on State Government, Pennsylvania State Senate, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. All right, welcome to all of our new members and panelists on the table.
You will recall that in 2000, the United Nations Millennium Summit in September brought in world leaders from 189 countries, and they adopted the Millennium Declaration, which became the 8th Millennium Development Goals, as a minimum benchmark to reducing poverty, environmental degradation, illiteracy, hunger, discrimination against women, reducing HIV/AIDS prevalence, and other diseases by 2015 deadline. The MDG framework acknowledged that progress is contingent upon sustainable economic growth, focused on the poor, with human rights at the center. The Millennium Declaration actually aimed to promote a comprehensive approach and coordinated strategy, tackling many problems simultaneously across a broad front. The MDG constitutes an ambitious agenda to significantly improve the human condition by 2015. As you are aware, Nigeria actually negotiated the debt relief from Paris Club in 2005, amounting to a total of 18 billion USD. As a result, a virtual poverty fund was set up with a sum of $1 billion annually, budgeted for poor intervention. Out of this $1 billion annually, $750 million accrued to the federal government and $250 million accrued to the state government. Over the years, using the debt relief, huge investment has actually been made in the health sectors and in the health-related entities between 2006 to 2012. An estimated sum of about $198 billion has been spent through the Federal Ministry of Health, Department and Agency over this 6 years period that I've mentioned. This does not include the spending we make through the conditional grant scheme, as well as through execution of other projects through the special project interventions. These programs allow partnership among the 3 tiers of government, providing maternal and health projects including emergency obstetric care, medical consumables, immunization, as well as family planning commodities. Indeed, there has been demonstrable evidence of the impact of this debt relief grant as conducted by the National Bureau of Statistics in their survey in 2012. The National Agency for Control of AIDS derives substantial funding from the Debt Relief Fund from my office. In addition to increasing allocation to NACA, the National Malaria Control Program, the National Tuberculosis and Leprosy Control Program, in our 2012 budget, we increased funding. As we deliberate on how we're going to be able to produce the HIV test kit within the country, the malaria test kit within the country, and probably the antiretroviral drugs also within the country. We continue to partner with the Federal Ministry of Health and other stakeholders as investments are being made in health-related MDGs in strengthening the health systems and implementing the integrated maternal and new child-born strategy, revitalizing the primary health care as a platform. I want to use this opportunity to encourage you, distinguished professionals in diaspora, that we have quite a lot of opportunity, even in spite of the challenges that abound within the country. That this particular government is putting in quite a lot of things in place, like Dr. Aganga had mentioned when he spoke. And Professor Nebo also mentioned when he also spoke, that you don't look at the difficulties present now. You have a lot of potential to harness when you come into the country, to invest into the country. For example, you have a whole lot of 3.4 million Nigerians living with HIV/AIDS. And it's only a fragment of that population that can access drugs and even buy the drugs themselves. A lot are in denial stages. If we have availability of the drugs within the country, and not just importing the drugs, we make patent drugs within the country, the HIV prevalence in the country will fall. And you can make this happen.
Our next presenter is Fan Joyce, who is currently Director of National Drug Policy in the Federal Ministry of Health. She will be presenting on behalf of the Honorable Minister of Health, who is not able to be here with us today. Fan Joyce.
The Director General NAPPSA, other dignitaries here present, distinguished participants, good evening. I am here to represent the Honorable Minister of Health, Professor C.O. Onyebuchi-Chukwu, who is unavoidably absent here. Partnerships between the public sector and private companies are the preferred means by which the present administration intends to meet the need for modern and efficient capital projects. and for reliable, cost-effective delivery of public service as envisioned in National Vision 2020-20. PPP is important. Government cannot do it alone. It's partnership we are talking about. So NAPPSA, we are a partner of government. Governments are looking to public-private partnerships to radically improve infrastructure networks. We have talked about infrastructure and the way they are, the present situation and the way they are impacting not very favorably on the present situation in the pharmaceutical sector. So we need partnership in the infrastructure networks in the country to enhance service delivery to the people. PPPs have been shown to help governments improve services while avoiding some of the pitfalls of privatization. So you are all invited. The health sector is an area that is very vast. A lot have been said of the opportunities. We have great opportunities in Nigeria, and the diaspora professional is being invited by the Honorable Minister of Health, by Nigerians, to come home and assist and invest. Earlier speaker said, make money for yourself and make money for the country. So you are invited. Thank you very much.
We're very honored to have the DG of NAFDAC for Nigeria here with us. The DG is somebody who really doesn't need any introduction. So it's my distinct pleasure to welcome Dr. Ori to his presentation.
And Dr. Ori's presentation comprises of a video presentation. So I'm going to start with that.
Confidently say that Nigeria is a live potential source of data from those of African descent, which is important for addressing the need for racial diversity in clinical study. With a large population and expanding middle class, Nigeria presents a large potential market for pharmaceutical products. Improved regulatory environment and competence in clinical trial oversight will remain steadfast in our commitment to ensure that Nigeria remains a credible destination for clinical trials. This requires that products circulating within our jurisdiction are of good quality, safe and efficacious, and that will continue to reinforce our strategies against counterfeiting. I want to invite you to increase your participation, be interested in what is happening in Nigeria, and help us to also bring clinical trials in Nigeria to the stage where it needs to be. Thank you for the collaboration that we have enjoyed from you before. We look forward to your continued partnership with us. Thank you.
This is USAfrica Television, Nigeria 360 and CLASSmagazine. We're live in Pennsylvania at the Pennsylvania Civic Conference Center. And it's my privilege to be with the president of the NAPPSA, the chief host of the event this year. I speak of no other person than Nodum Iheme, the CEO of Nodum Pharmacy Group. Sir, we're delighted to have you for this special interview, and congratulations on the excellent work you've done with this conference.
Thank you so much, Chido. And it's a pleasure to work with USAfrica. It's the most wonderful thing to be associated with a brand like USAfrica. And we're just excited about what is going on, the attendance, the people are having fun, but most importantly, we are impacting knowledge. And with knowledge comes power. And with power, you're able to make changes. And that's what we're excited about.
I'm especially mindful of the fact that you had the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, the Minister for Investments and Trade, and of course representatives of the President and other government officials, and a rich mix of Nigerian pharmaceutical scientists and your American co-sponsors. What is your message as president to them?
My message has always been consistent, and that's the NAPPSA vision and goal. To grow ourselves in this country and make us stronger as professionals, be a support system to each other. But most importantly, this generation of pharmacists and pharmaceutical scientists of Nigerian origin and African origin, we are the highest Nigerian professionals outside of Nigeria. We're very diverse, both in scientific knowledge, in healthcare, in drug distribution. So really, our goal is for us to be able to impact change, harness all our energies together, put everything together, and forge ahead to make a change for our people.
There is a program that you're championing, and evidently it's yielding results. I met with some of the young professionals, the young pharmacists. They had their own event last night. How is that program coming along?
Without the young professionals, there will be no NAPPSA. And they are our strength. They are our catalyst. We expect them to do better than we did. Last night, I was telling one young lady, just to be good is not good enough for us. You need to be the best, because you're not thinking of somebody to train in Nigeria. You're not thinking of relations. You're going to send tuition. Your mom and dad, you're not thinking of how many dollars you're going to send to them. Or you're concentrating on how to build your career and take care of your family, and that's the ultimate goal.
In terms of the issues of quality control and distribution, where do you come on this twin challenges?
NAPPSA's goal is all-encompassing. From drug research to drug development to drug manufacturing to pharmacy practice and drug distribution, we have our hands. We're working with different agencies. We are catalysts to be able to get some of these things done, working with different agencies like the NAFDAC, the Ministry of Health. We have an MOU with the Ministry of Health now. We become the catalyst to move this thing. The Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, we have a great relationship with them. The Pharmacy Council of Nigeria, we have a wonderful relationship with them. NUC, we have a great relationship with them. The National University Commission, the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, the Pharmacists Council of Nigeria, we have wonderful relationship, and we become that change. Most of our members who are in academia, they go into different pharmacy schools because education is power, and with education we can make a change. What NAPPSA has done in the past is to bring the deans of colleges of pharmacies in Nigeria and organize dean's workshop or education workshop
for the deans.
Not for the members and the faculty, and then be able to use our influence to have relationship with other colleges of pharmacies in this country, so that that will lead to faculty exchange, program exchange, student exchange, and that's the only way you can impact things. You look at things from a holistic point of view. In terms of the alumni, with the deans, we tell them they need to develop human capital and building a relationship. A lot of these members are from Nigerian universities. And once you have the deans, building a relationship with them, just like American colleges, they build relationship with the alumni. And once they do that, people are willing and ready to give money to those alumni. But they have to be able to articulate what do they want, how can they use that money, What NAPPSA has done in the past is to bring the deans of colleges of pharmacies in Nigeria and organize dean's workshop or education workshop
For the deans.
not for the members and the faculty, and then be able to use our influence to have relationship with other colleges of pharmacies in this country, so that that will lead to faculty exchange, program exchange, student exchange, and that's the only way you can impact things. You look at things from a holistic point of view. In terms of the alumni, with the deans, we tell them they need to develop human capital and building a relationship. A lot of these members are from Nigerian universities. And once you have the deans, building a relationship with them, just like American colleges, they build relationship with the alumni. And once they do that, people are willing and ready to give money to those alumni. But they have to be able to articulate what do they want, how can they use that money.
You're leaving as president this 2013. What do you hope for NAPPSA?
Thank you so much, Chido. I've been the founding president of NAPPSA. I developed quality teams. And building teams is the most important thing. And today, if I look back, I thank myself and I thank God, because without those teams, NAPPSA could have not functioned. I never did this by myself. It was that team, it was a teamwork. And I see NAPPSA as a group of professionals coming together with different diversified ideas, skill sets, and ideas. But one thing that brings all of us together is forming that teamwork. And teamwork, I see NAPPSA soaring like a dove. I see NAPPSA doing a lot better than when we started or what we embraced. So I'm just excited.
This is USAfrica Television, Class Magazine, Nigeria 360. We have the very special privilege of having in our midst the incoming president of the Nigerian Association of Pharmacists and Pharmaceutical Scientists in the Americas, NAPPSA, in the person of Lady Fumi. Madam, it's nice to have you this evening.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on your assuming office.
Thank you very much.
And I must also congratulate you for helping to make this a very successful conference. What has been your experience? What is your reaction to what you've seen so far?
It is actually very wonderful to see the various people that came all the way from Nigeria to support this organization. It's also very, very wonderful to see a lot of the young professionals that attended this US conference. And also, which is the most important thing, is the fact that we have the support of His Excellency, President Jonathan, right behind us. And for him to have allowed 4 key ministers to be here with us at this meeting, and for him to send a wonderful message to us, indicating to NAPPSA that those of us in the diaspora are really very key to his program for the future of Nigeria. That is a wonderful message from the leader, our father, and we hope and believe that we together can partner with him to achieve his goal and his mission.
You're planning a program in 2014 in Orlando, Florida. That will be the first event that you're going to preside as the new leader of NAPPSA. What should we look forward to? What direction are you planning to take the conference?
As I mentioned in my note, NAPPSA will continue to soar on, and what I'm envisaging that we do for NAPPSA 2014 in Orlando is to have even more presence of wonderful partners and stakeholders from Nigeria, and also to be able to provide to the young professionals the opportunity to network again, to come back and tell us some of the results of the connections that we've made to them during this meeting. I've connected at least 5 people with people that I think will be able to help them reach their goals. So I'll be looking forward to getting some feedback about such efforts. And also the program. I'm looking forward to a program that will be even take what we did this year to the next level. So I'm really excited and looking forward to that, and I'm hoping that there'll be more people at that conference than we have this year, because each year we've been having more and more attendance, which makes all of us on the program committee and the executive to really be very happy, because we are being rewarded.
This is US Africa Television. My name is Chido Nwam, live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, for the 2013 Nigerian American Pharmacists and Pharmaceutical Scientists in America Conference, holding at the historic Pennsylvania Conference Center. It's my pleasure and privilege to be with the chair of the program committee of this year's event, who is also a member of the board of NAPPSA. Dr. Anthony Ikeme, we're delighted to have you this evening. Congratulations on what is obviously turning out to be a very successful event.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Tell us about this special event this year.
We have podium presentations, where we had people share information about different projects they are working on. And then we have the Economic Forum, which is where we discussed the different aspects of the Nigerian pharmaceutical sector and showcased what is being done by the government to create an enabling environment for investors to come in. We also had the Nigerians in diaspora who are already doing the same things that we want done in Nigeria. Also provide information as to what is needed in order to make Nigeria more attractive for those kinds of investment. So it covers every aspect of what is needed to have a full scientific conference. We also have exhibition, where our sponsors showcase their goods, their wares, their services that they provide. We have a young professional forum for the young professionals to receive mentorship from established professionals within the sector. And we also have a social component to the event. Our banquet and gala is scheduled to take place on Saturday night, and the young professionals have their own social event tonight, which is Friday.
Tell us about the structure of the governance of NAPPSA. I know the president is Nnodomi Iheme. Tell us about the other principal officers and part of the board of NAPPSA.
Right. So NAPPSA has an executive arm, which is made up of a president, as you mentioned, Mr. Nnodomi Iheme. We have a secretary, Ms. Dr. Fumi Ajayi, who is also the president-elect, in line to take over from Nnodomi at this conference, which will take place tomorrow during our gala. We also have a treasurer, Mr. Patrick Wakama, who is also the financial secretary. We also have a NAPPSA board, as you mentioned. NAPPSA board is made up of top Nigerians within the pharmaceutical sector, in the pharmacy education, in the academia.
Who is the chairman of the
board? Dr. here. The board is set up not to actually have a chairman. We just have the president of NAPPSA serve also as the chair of the board. But the board is made up of distinguished and accomplished Nigerians in the pharmaceutical industry. I'm a member of the board myself. We have accomplished people in academia like Dr. here, who is a dean of a pharmacy faculty within the US. We have a vice chancellor of a pharmaceutical university, Dr. Yukeria Nadi. We have Dr. Leo Ebujiobi, who is an accomplished physician and cardiologist. We have so many other members who are also accomplished in their various fields.
This is USAfrica Television, live in Philadelphia. I have with me Dr. Ed Oparoji, who is the chairman of the local organizing committee of the NAPPSA conference 2013. Ed, congratulations on your very successful event.
Thank you very much.
How has it been? Tell us about the highlights of this special event.
The highlights of today's event, the Nigerian Association of Pharmacists and Pharmaceutical Scientists in the Americas, is the fact that we were able to bring together all the component parts that will help us move the pharmacy profession in Nigeria a little bit forward in terms of impacting patient care, also in terms of creating economic value for the country as well. In doing this, we, as you can testify, we had the President was represented here today by Professor Viola Omodori, the Minister for Foreign Affairs. Also in attendance today was Professor Olusegun Agenga, who is the Minister for Industry, Trade and Investment. The Minister for Power, Professor Chinedu Nebo, was also here. The Director General for NAFDAC was here. And like I said, all the different components, parts of the healthcare sector in Nigeria were here. The Minister for Health was also represented here at this event.
What is your message to the Nigerian professionals in the diaspora, those who are not members? What should they be thinking about?
Like every organization, organizations represent interests. Not every pharmacist will be expected to belong to the organization. But to the extent that we speak for the profession and the value of the profession in general, then our job is done. But obviously, we'll keep reaching out to pharmacists, pharmaceutical scientists, people in the healthcare arena to join this group because, like I said again, the essence of it all is to further, the healthcare space, improving the healthcare space in Nigeria, particularly looking at those areas that impact the goals number 4, 5, and 6 of the Millennium Development Goals that we still are very much short of in terms of our ability to accomplish them. So our message to them is come, join this organization, make your own contribution, and while doing that, enjoy the benefit that NAPPSA has brought to the healthcare professionals that are Nigerian, even non-Nigerians belong to this organization as well, in terms of furthering their own individual investment in the healthcare arena.
This is USAfrica Television. I'm Chido Nwangu, live in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia. An interview with one of the members of the board of the NAPPSA in the United States here. So we're delighted to have you.
Thank you.
Emmanuel Ezuru.
Yes, Emmanuel Chidi Chukwumeze Ejirim.
It's nice to meet you again.
Very nice to meet you.
You've been a man of substance, of style, of very, very capacities. To put it politely, you're the most versatile pharmacist I have seen in the course of this conference. Tell me your impressions of the conference.
I think this is the best that we've had so far in 8 years or 7 years that we started. And this is wonderful. Pennsylvania has been good to us. We have gotten a lot of things accomplished this year that we're excited about.
I noticed you were helping in facilitating the youth program, the Young Pharmacist program. Why is it important in the trajectory of the history of NAPPSA and the future of NAPPSA?
Those young people are the future of NAPPSA. They are the future of Nigeria. They are the future, period, of everything that we do. And our legacy will be to help them start beyond where we started. We started from the grassroots, from the bottom. They don't have to repeat or reinvent the wheel. We didn't have anybody doing what we're doing now when we were in school. And we don't want them starting from scratch. We want them standing on our shoulders and seeing further than we ever dreamed of seeing. We have relationships with some of the major American wholesale distribution companies and some other vendors we work with. And with one of those, we actually have a scholarship fund that has been set up with our new contract to help some of those kids with their financial challenges while they're in school. So they are the reason why we do what we do.
In terms of the issue that is key to all pharmacists, quality of drug and drug control, what is the position of NAPPSA in this regard?
The position of NAPPSA is to establish the best healthcare delivery system. We are all about system. If you develop a solid quality system, everything falls in place. If you have the finest automobile and you put the wheels in and you don't tighten up the bolts, the wheels fall off. You can't go anywhere. But we want to set up a quality healthcare delivery system in Nigeria that would make it so that people can get quality drugs in Nigeria and when they buy a little bottle of any kind of medicine, be it for diabetes or for any other ailment, they know that they're buying that drug, the quality, and then it will help with all the stuff about fake drugs. If you pay 20 naira for a medicine and it's cheap, and you go and it doesn't work, you come back and you pay, say, 50 naira for a medication, the quality thing, and you go home and it works. Next time that you have that illness or some family member has it, I won't have to tell you where they need to go. Yeah, if you pay $40 twice and you still haven't been healed versus paying $50 one time and you're healed one time, that's quality, that's value, that's what we're looking for. And it's a paradigm shift. It's a way of thinking that we have to help our people switch, turn that light bulb on so they can see it. And once they have experienced it, it will make sense. We can talk it all we want, but once we implement and they're living that life, like we're living this life right now, it's a different message. They will get it and we'll find a way to deliver it.
Finally, what are you looking forward to regarding the next convention?
Well, we're looking forward to going to Tampa, Florida next year. We're looking forward to the next year going to Vegas. I mean, right now, we used to try to find a place to do our meetings. Now, they're lining up ready for us to come. And today, for this convention we're presently at, we're looking forward to just the next few minutes signing a new contract, renewing our contract with H.D. Smith as one of our preferred wholesale distributors. And we hope that you will be there to join us and get it all on camera.
By the grace of the President, USAfrica and his team were your media partners. So it's a long-term relationship.
Amen.
Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Chido. Thank you.
Thanks.
Pleasure.
This is USAfrica Television. My name is Chido Wang, live in Pennsylvania. We're at the NAPPSA convention and I have a set of young Nigerian pharmaceutical professionals. First to my left, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Olawanuola Abiona. I go to Toro College of Pharmacy in New York.
And you?
Hi, my name is Basarat Adeyemi. I attend Toro College of Pharmacy in New York as well.
And my name is Chima Onubiko and I go to Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine and I'm in my third year.
And my name is Ezine Onukogu. I attend Toro College of Pharmacy in New York.
Michael Malobu, Toro College of Pharmacy in New York.
It's a great privilege I've been with all of you. You're the future and the present.
Thank you.
First and foremost, what inspired you to study pharmacy?
I personally had worked at Georgetown Pharmacy for like on and off 6 years, and I started off as a volunteer. I didn't know what exactly I wanted to do. As of then, I was pre-med, and so after I had worked with them, and it got to a point where I started reading like the medication inserts, and just enjoying, like I enjoyed the pathway of how the medication works and whatnot. And after I took biochemistry, that in itself, it just like opened my eyes the more, and that's why I chose pharmacy.
What about you?
One of the reasons I chose pharmacy is because I was always enjoyed science classes. I enjoyed science, and chemistry was one of my favorite subjects. So when I started to learn more about pharmacy, my older sister is also a pharmacist. I knew that I would enjoy it, and I enjoyed everything about it, learning about the drugs, the pathway. So I decided that pharmacy school would be right for me, and I like it so far. I don't regret it.
Model.
Pharmacy, for me, I always wanted to become a scientist, so I think I accomplished that with my first degree as a neuroscientist. But while doing that, I kind of decided to go either into medicine or pharmacy. So it was between one of those two choices, and I decided to go to pharmacy because personally I'm a business-driven individual, and I feel like pharmacy will afford me the opportunity to explore business-wise opportunities while practicing as a professional pharmacist, and it will afford me such opportunities that medicine would not actually afford me. So I kind of diverged into pharmacy, and so far it's been good. It's been a very great opportunity. I've widened my horizon, my knowledge base is expanded as well, and I can't say I regret it. It's a good choice for me.
Chima.
Pharmacy, just like my colleague here, at first was going to be medicine, and until my father sold the idea to me and I bought it, and I've always known anyway that I was going to serve God with my career, and it's a lot easier and faster, you know, if you go through the medical field. And for my background, my grandma, medicine, and all that, so I felt that I could stand in the gap for the people, you know, the less privileged and whatnot, you know, to help them get their medications and to serve God. So yes, that's why I chose it, and no regrets at all.
Yes, well, I chose the profession of pharmacy because, you know, I was interested more in specific populations, like the pediatric population and the geriatric, elderly people, because I was interested in, you know, how to get drugs to target the specific glands and more so older people, so as to help increase the quality of their life. So that's why I looked into pharmacy.
Let me ask you, how have you enjoyed the program so far?
I enjoy it.
Oh, I think for me, it's personally like amazing to see that our own people are here and they're doing things back home to make the continent better. I enjoy networking. It's so many people here that it's so funny. I watched a video last week, 2 weeks ago on YouTube of my friend's mother who's a medical doctor. She's here and she moved into the pharmaceutical industry, and that's somebody I was telling everybody about her, and she's here. So I got to meet her in person. So that's beautiful, being able to network and also hearing about all these different things that's going on in Nigeria, that we can go back and help our own country. It's been a wonderful experience.
How has it been for you?
It's been great. We've met several people. While in school, we're always talking about we want to go back and do for our country. We want to go back and get involved with the government, get involved with pharmacy over there. How do they practice it there? So it's just very, like, it's an eye-opening, like, seeing what the pharmacists have been doing back home as far as pharmacy goes. So, and like the people we've been able to talk to, like one of the directors or so at NAPPSA, the lady that spoke about the MDG or MG, okay.
MDGs.
Yes, that. So it's been great.
Amoloku, did you make any $1 million deals?
Man, I'm always on the move, so I'm always thinking.
What did you pull this time?
We had one of the keynote speakers was talking about the state of the pharmaceutical industry in Nigeria and how we can, you know, become serious about making that market. It was talking about the pharmaceutical industry being an $800 million industry in Nigeria and growing at a rate of 10% per year. And 10% is good, but it could be better. There's always room for improvement. And
did you make any contacts?
Oh yeah, actually, I did meet a few people there. I feel like I was able to establish a good relationship with that could be beneficial to me downward, like during my practice years and furthermore during my career as well. So I think I'm on the right path by attending this convention.
It's been quite an honor speaking with all of you. Chima's dedication to God, your scientific interest, the professional efforts at academic distinction, and of course the future multi-millionaire pharmacy businessman, Molo.
Yes, sir.
When you make the money, remember USAfrica.
Yes, sir. Definitely. Most definitely.
Okay. Congratulations to you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Nice having all of you.
Thank you, sir.
This is Chidoma live in Pennsylvania with future pharmacists, pharmaceutical scientists of Nigerian heritage excelling across the world, making distinctions in the United States. We're proud of you all.
Thank you, sir.
If you like what I said hip hop hooray.
Hip hop hooray.
Let's just take a shot. Let's give a shot.